What is up, my guys? These next three boss battles are, in my opinion, the most annoying in the level 1 run on Kingdom Hearts 1. So I'm going to show you the most effective way that I've come across to beating them as quickly as possible. A lot of the strategies that I use to beat this I found in a level 1 guide, which I will link in the description down below, and I'll put an annotation for it up at the top of the video in case you want to see the whole thing, because this is just the next three boss fights. But specifically against Ansem 2, I have some information I want to show you that really helped me in this fight. And anyway, we're going to get right into it. So the first little fight against Ansem is super easy. All you have to do is get a 3-hit combo off as quickly as you possibly can and then summon Mushu for the win. And you're literally just holding down your Y/and/or triangle button to use Mushu's fire attack to literally blow Ansem up. And this is possible due to a small oversight in the ability 0 experience, where the finisher of a physical attack boosts your next physical attack was the intended use for it, but it actually boosts all of your attacks, including your magic and your summon, so it makes your summon significantly stronger, especially if you're using Lady Luck, which I am in this video. So that is literally all you have to do. Make sure Donald and Goofy are alive, summon Mushu, use Mushu's fire breath, and just stay safe, and that's it. It should be over in literally 15 seconds. You got to make sure you're staying alive and dodging the air cutter that he sends out, but aside from that, super easy fight. So this will be the last time that you get the chance to mess with anything in your inventory, any of your customizations, any of your abilities, any of that. This is the last chance you'll get to do it. Once you step in to fight the next fight, that's it. From that point forward, it's a boss gauntlet. So I highly recommend you have Firaga and Gravaja, hopefully, even though I'm using Graviara in this. Gravija and Araga are both recommended for the next coming up parts, but I honestly was just too lazy to do it. But have at least Firaga and Gravaja in your hotbar. As far as your items go, you're going to want at least 2 elixirs in some form. If you can get 3, even better. If you can get them to fill Goofy's slot, even better. I honestly was ready to have this game done by this point, and I was not going to farm for any more elixirs. I can show a quick guide on how to do that if you guys want me to, but I just couldn't be fucked to do it anymore. I was seriously done with this. I wanted to start a different game. So I went in with an ether and 2 elixirs, and I still managed to come out the victor. So, as I said before, if you can give them to Goofy, that makes the next couple of parts even easier, but it's not a requirement, but you do have to have at least 2 elixirs for the first part of the next phase. So, the next phase being Boat Ansem's first phase. The fight against the Dark Side's a little more of the same, honestly. It's not a hard fight, he just deals a lot more damage. You want to get a 3-hit combo in at least 3 times. I like to get 4, but you want all 3, at least of those combos, to be on the head. Then at that point you want to roll back, lock onto the arms, and spam fire into his hands. I find this works a bit better if you can lock onto the left hand, his left hand, because for whatever reason, fire just hits it for longer without having to jump. I think it has something to do with the way that he spreads his hands when he goes to shoot up the ball, but it's way easier to do it that way than just hop in and get as many fires in as you possibly can without getting yourself killed. Once old boy here slams his hands down on the ground, you want to jump on his arm and attack his head like you always do. But it's imperative that you do not jump when you're doing this. You want the attack itself to lift you into the air. If you jump, there's a high likelihood you'll get hit by the snowflakes, and you really don't want that to happen. That's going to mean you're going to have to stop, get off the arm, and heal. So you want to let the attack carry the momentum upwards. Do not jump. Once you see him start crossing his arms over his chest and spreading them out, it's time to start getting close to an arm. It doesn't really matter which one. I, again, prefer his left because for whatever reason, the little tracking orbs have a harder time hitting you. I don't really know why that is. But if you go for his right arm, you're going to end up getting hit at least once. So go to his left hand, get behind it, and start meleeing him. But again, you want to finish with at least 3 hits. If you have done everything I've described in this video up until this point, then just a couple of 3-hit combos to the head should be enough to finish him. Your magic might actually be better than mine because I was a dingus and decided to not start optimally, so you might even be able to do it faster than me. The fight against this version of Ansem can go literally any way. The dude has like 4 different attacks he can start off with. But most importantly, what you want to do is make sure he doesn't start out with a charge, because the charge is the biggest, most annoying attack that he does. He'll either start off with a charge, a sweep, he'll jump back into a little bit of lightning, or he will submit, which is pretty rare early on, but it does happen. The idea of this fight is whenever he goes to use the low sweep or the submit, you want to punish him for 2-3 hit combos and then use your fire at that point as much as you can. The key to winning this fight is making sure that your finishers are connecting with him. So if you're going in with 2-3 hit combos, make sure that both finishers are following through and that you're not hitting the Guardian. If you do manage to get 2-3 hit combos off, he will summon his Guardian like in the video, and if he does do that, that's your opportunity to spam at least 4 fires. You can get 4 fires off safely at that point. These fires are what are going to be dealing the bulk of your damage. But the attacks that really got me were submit and the charge, so I'm going to show you the timing that I used to help me to make sure that you never get hit by this. When he actually starts off the submit, his Guardian will come up and put his right arm over his left arm before actually attacking you. That is your window to do it. It's that moment when you see the left arm come straight up, then he will sweep with his right arm. And I'll show it on screen right now so you know what I'm talking about. This frame is what you're looking for. If you roll at this frame, he'll never be able to hit you. When Ansem gets ready to do his finisher, he will say "My strength returns" before sending the Guardian down into the ground to do a little bit of an AoE attack against you. And the monster will actually come up out of the ground to play peekaboo with you for 5 seconds. And I'll show you again the frame that you're looking for, because if you dodge roll here at these frames, they're not going to be able to hit you. So it's that moment just before his head actually comes up out of the ground. He'll put his hands up first, then his head up, then the explosion. And I'll show you the frame you're looking for. When he says take this, that means he's going to start doing his charging attack. The window is really slim if you're going to be dodge rolling through it, so I recommend waiting until just before he starts coming at you before you dodge roll. It'll be 4 dodge rolls, and then on the last one, on the 5th attack, there's a bit of a delay, so it'll be roll, 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 roll. Wait just a second, and then roll. If you're doing it that way, you're not going to get hit. When he does this, you want to absolutely make sure you are not close to an edge, because sometimes when he scoots along the circular boundary that is set in this area, it counts that as a charge and it can throw off your timing, make it a whole lot harder, because that will count as actually charging towards you, and you might not be prepared for that final little one, which can be the end of you. Just like in the level 1 guide says, make sure that you're healing after it's all done. Don't do it while it's happening, because you will die, or at the very least you'll just lose that magic because you're going to get hit again. Don't do anything too crazy. Use the fire when you can. Make sure you're dodging at the submits and the charges, and this isn't too bad. It is a bit of a slog if you're only using magic, but it's not impossible. If you guys want, I can make a video on how to do all of this stuff, because I did not start this game optimally, which is why I had such a hard time in the later bits. So if you're also suffering with that, let me know. I can show you how I got through some of the boss fights. But this has been annoying me. We are going to have more deck profile videos coming out soon, but this was information I wanted y'all to know about. So if you want to see the rest of the video, you want to see me do the other phases, let me know, whatever. Either way, I'll see you guys in the next video.